Okay, I'm making another video about my life and the connections that I've had to Slaughterhouse Five because I think there's been quite a few, and it's kind of interesting. The whole title is actually Slaughterhouse Five or the Children's Crusade: A Duty Dance of Death. So I feel like this is my duty, right? I feel like I've been given these puzzle pieces to solve this mystery my whole life, and I put it together, and it makes you a target. It makes you a target. And the protagonist in Slaughterhouse Five, Billy Pilgrim, he was shot giving a speech. So, which is so anyway. Uh, so so this was my elementary school principal, Miss Rosemary Bowler, and she's wearing a shirt that's the same, just happens to be the same color as the teal in Slaughterhouse Five. Um, and uh, she taught me how to count to five in German as a kid. I remember it. Eins, zwei, drei, vier, fünf. And I remember pronouncing fünf wrong, and she told me to do it again until I did it right. And then she said, very good. And so that was a little weird. Um, and so I'm just doing this free form because I want to get it out there because weird things have been happening to me, and I don't know what's going on day to day. Like I don't know I think they're trying to take me out, to be honest. So I want to get this out. So this is my hometown, Belmont, Mass, right here. My school was the Daniel Butler School, which is right here. The Lions Club is here. That's B. So Billy Pilgrim was president of the Lions Club in Slaughterhouse Five. Um, and then this is the McLean Hospital, which keeps 7,000 human brains in storage for Harvard. And that's a whole different another story. That's a whole different rabbit hole there um, that I'm not going to get into right now. And then this is the Fernald School where children were dropped off, who were unwanted children were dropped off to be experimented on by MIT. They did a radio. They called it the Science Club, and these kids were fed radioactive oatmeal. Um, and there's a 60 minutes episode segment on this called America's Deep Dark Secret with Bob Simon, who died in 2015 in a car crash. Um, which I think that I think the driver. So the driver, I looked into the driver a little bit, and he had his license suspended a bunch of times. But I think he knew exactly how fast to go to kill Bob Simon, who wasn't wearing his seatbelts. And I'll tell you why. It's based on the research done right here at by a Fessenden School alumni. I've got to look up his name, but he was called the father of crash survivability. I'll just do that real quick. Um, so yeah, it's a here we go. So these are the people who are alumni. Um, the guy the International Authority on Attention Deficit Disorder, which I think he said later wasn't even a real disorder, but I'd have to look into that. Peter Goss, CIA director, some Kennedys, John Kerry, Christopher Lloyd. Where's the? Oh, here it is. Hugh DeHaven is the father of crash survivability. Um, So this is like my life here. My sister was born in Newton Wellesley Hospital, and so was my friend David, who is now who died. I'm not sure how. In 2005, David Nelson, and so his parents. I met him in daycare right before the kidnapping attempt on me, and both of his parents were in the CIA, which I thought was interesting because they were some of the smartest people that I knew at the time, and they kind of opened my eyes to a lot of things and helped me with some puzzle pieces actually. So that was a little strange too. And then my sister was convinced by a school psychiatrist or something that she had schizophrenia, which she doesn't, but that's what they told her. And so we were in this she was in a schizophrenia study at McLean Hospital, and they said it was a family study, so I could do it too, and they'd pay us, it was pretty good money. It was like $100 just to show up and take some stupid tests, and I did an MRI for these people for $200, and if I had known how evil this place is, I never would have done that, because I don't know what they're going to use it for. But they did there was another guy who measured every aspect of our face and head, that's also creepy, he said he never forgets a face in a really creepy way. And then they wanted my DNA, and I said, no, I'm done. This is too creepy. I got to get out of here. And I didn't even know about the 7,000 brains at the time. They would just seem like a bunch of creeps. So that's another weird thing. Well, and the other 2 points are like this cemeteries. This is the Mary Baker Eddy's church, the Christian Science Church, and then this is Mount Auburn Cemetery, which was designed by Frederick Law Olmsted, who designed Central Park and Washington. He was a landscape architect who put an owl into Washington D.C., which represents Lilith, who was described as a screech owl in Isaiah 34 in the Hebrew Bible. They mention her name Lilith. And she stole kids in the night. That's what she did. She was a she demon who stole kids in the night. And it's also in the Christian Bible, but they don't use the name Lilith. So that's and Mary Baker Eddy's has the largest monument here at Mount Auburn Cemetery. So, and that's weird that these are form a line like this. Well, this is actually a magic circle. I did another video about that. It's a magic circle within a magic circle. There's a small one here. It looks like this is a small one, and then it looks like there's a larger one. So it's very strange to me with the research that I've been doing, trying to understand this. And these people that do this, this tells me that this town was set up as a farm for this. That's what it tells me, and it tells me that Washington D.C. was also set up as a farm for human trafficking, with the owl symbolism, which represents a she demon who stole kids in the night. And you have Pizzagate, and you can all connect magic circles with Washington D.C. and Pizzagate. And there's a bakery called Tatte. Look into that, because you'll find the magic circles that connects to it too. So it's very, very, very strange. All right, and so the protagonist, Billy Pilgrim, so I noticed this too. Clockwork Orange is another strange movie, but I noticed the eye symbolism, which I think is like the Black Eye Club, that's another rabbit hole that I've gone down to for like another day, I guess. So let me see. The wife of Billy Pilgrim was Valencia Marble, which is an odd name, but this is Valencia Marble. It's a marble. It's a stone that looks like a brain. So it's either pink or yellow, and it's got these red and purple veins in it. It looks just like a brain. And so Billy Pilgrim he sometimes he got visions of the future, because he had become unstuck from time, allegedly. That's what it's called. He wasn't stuck to time the way Most people are. So he could go into the future. He could see things in the future. And he was on a plane. He saw it crashing, and he told the pilots not to take off, and they didn't listen to him. And it crashed. It crashed at Sugar Bush Mountain. So I take that as another clue, especially with this triple Vav. This is the Hebrew letter Vav, which represents 6. It's the 6th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. So it's 6. It's like the Monster energy drink. It's 666. So you got that. He mentioned this is where the plane crashes that he foresaw, and he thought he was dying. He's laying bloodied in the snow, and his dying words were Slaughterhouse Five. And he said that over and over because he wanted that to be investigated. Apparently, I mean, but it sounds like there's some other things that need to be investigated also. And then, Valencia Merble. So after the plane crash, Valencia Merble is hysterical, and she gets in her car, and she's crashing into everything. And she eventually crashes into a wall and dies from carbon monoxide poisoning. And I just got into the story. I'm not an expert on it by any means, but just the similarities I've seen to my life have been uncanny as far as I'm concerned. So here's the Lions. This is my little Lions Club. Look, selling flowers. It's kind of a creepy place if you ask me. Yeah, here it is from Google Earth, and then there's the municipal light department, and the police station is all around here. And there's a pedestrian tunnel right here that was always kind of creepy. So the idea that there could be more tunnels, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility when you know how evil and occult this town is. In McLean Hospital, where they store the brains, they do have tunnels. They admit to that, but if they had tunnels here, the town hall's across the street, and if they had tunnels, they wouldn't be able to admit it anyway. So there's another thing. So Billy Pilgrim was in Dresden. He fought in Dresden, which I think must have been a major child trafficking center. Otherwise, this book doesn't make a lot of sense. But I think that's what it was. And there was a Slaughterhouse Five where the kids were being killed, and there was malt syrup. I believe that the children who were murdered in Slaughterhouse Five were being made into malt syrup, for pregnant women. From not just from the kids themselves, but the pineal glands, because that is the forbidden fruit in Genesis 3. I'm convinced of that. And it's a very strange. Supposedly, it gives people cravings for food. It makes people think the food is good. Like it's really, it's like a flavor. It's pineal glands are amazing. Like I've never actually, it's in so many foods that people don't even realize that we're all eating them, right? And that's it's just so crazy. But it's like a flavor enhancer. Look up a 60 Minutes episode called The Flavorists, and they act like they're looking for chemical flavors, but I think they know that the one that makes people crave food the most is the pineal glands. All right, and look into that. It's very creepy. It's a growth hormone for if kids eat this pineal glands. It's a growth hormone. That's in this article called, it's a 1914 article in the Richmond Times-Dispatch called A Food That Does Away with Youth. And this version has the pineal gland highlighted, but I have another link that doesn't do that. So there it is. There's the pineal gland. And so they fed them to chickens, just like in H.G. Wells' book, Food of the Gods, because that's what they consider as food of the gods. They were using science to grow giant animals and I think people. I didn't read that book. But so that's what happens. You feed these animals pineal glands, and they grow to be giants, like Andre the Giant, who maybe that's what actually happened, and not this pituitary tumor that he had that disappeared like Tony Robbins, right? Um, so it's a growth hormone. It's a human growth hormone. If you look up human growth hormone on Wikipedia, I'll do it right now. It says that it's harvested from human cadavers. It says that and that was what Roger Clemens was taken as a performance enhancer. So this is like cadavers. Hormone extracted from human cadavers is abbreviated as HGH. That's what Roger Clemens took, HGH. So this is the equivalent of selling your soul to the devil, and these elites are doing this. This is what they do. It's a performance enhancer. It's a very strange thing. But when they talk about selling your soul, like in the book Faustus, Dr. Faustus sells his soul to the devil for knowledge. But it's not just knowledge, it's knowledge of good and evil from the tree of life in Genesis 3. That's what it is. They're eating pineal glands as a performance enhancing drug. And that's what these people do. I'm going to go down the rabbit hole a little bit further with some other things, so you can see the connections and the similarities and how strange it is. So this is near McLean. This is a splash park near where I grew up, and it's Waverly Oaks, and it's across it's right pretty close to McLean's, and it's got a magic circle in it too. They put there's blue poles. There's these yellow poles with a blue top. And you can see them from Google Earth, and they mark out a magic circle. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. And I tried to see if there was any similarities with the rock patterns in the constellation Orion, and I didn't find anything conclusive, but it was a little bit odd. It's a little odd. So I was just testing that out. Like there's 3 rocks here, and then there's I don't know. It's not conclusive, but it's just it's because these people they never like to do anything random. Everything has a purpose with these people do. So here's the blue dots that I'm talking about, the dark blue ones that are here. Those are actually, I added these light blue ones, but the dark blue ones you can see from Google Earth, and it forms this magic circle shape. And I think the fountain is in the middle, which is. So when these people do this stuff, it's like the genie or the devil or whatever comes out from the middle. I think that's how it works. But so that's some weird stuff. All right, so let's. I gotta find this. So here we go. This is the Harvard Club. And they get this nice chandelier, and. Let's see what else. I should have been more prepared, but everything. I've had so many strange things happen to me the past couple of days. I don't even. I'm afraid to leave the house to a certain extent, but not too much. But I get people following me and just weird things happening. It's just weird. So I feel like I got to do this while I can, because I don't know how long I'll be able to do it for. So take a look at this chandelier. Here we go. And then I'm going to show you another one. Oh, and it's in this Keebler commercial. Oh, I got to, I'll post a link to that, because you have to see that and how creepy it is, because they talk about where they get their chocolate chips from. And let me see, I got to find the picture. It's really creepy. I'll post a link to it. Lions. Oh, here it is, right here. This is where they say they get their chocolate chips come from this illuminated pineal gland looking thing. It opens up and the chocolate chips come flying out like magic, and they say it's due to the extreme elfin generosity. That's what they say. And they use this word generosity as a code word. You'll see it gracious and generous, like gracious dining. If you hear gracious dining, stay away, because it's just this sick crap. And then you'll see it in obituaries of Lions Club members. They say they were gracious and generous and all this stuff, because they're using code words for each other. like this code, like this hand signal that she's doing. That's another one of their code signals. It looks like the texture of a pineal gland right here. This is the staff of Osiris, and they put their references. Here's a wine decanter with some more pineal gland references. They'll put it all over the place. And here it is here with the Cupid baby and what are they putting in that, right? And the Golden Dome, that's another one. Jeffrey Epstein's palace had a golden dome. That's another. Boston City Hall has a golden dome, and Oliver Wendell Holmes called Boston the hub of the solar system or the hub of the universe, right? And so, what is he really talking about? It sounds like a more code talk to me. So I think, I think there's a big human trafficking problem there. So that's my gut feeling. So that needs to be investigated. This is like my Slaughterhouse Five message before whatever happens. Something's gonna. I don't think I'm gonna. Just the way things are going. So let's see what else I can find. I'm gonna wrap this up because I don't know. Oh, here's the magic circle. There's some more. This is the Belmont Hill Club, boating club. So I wonder what they do there and what the blood stripe is for. In the Marines we have a red stripe we call it a blood stripe. So what do they have it for? It's probably this. It's got to be the same thing. And here's the crisscross pattern that they use to signal each other. There's a pineal gland, right? There's a dome on the Quincy Market in Boston which actually looks like the Solomon's Temple, and underneath this dome there's a circle on the floor too. There's a magic circle on the floor. So that's insane. Here's a university club. I think it's the Boston one, but I'm not sure. But they're connected on these magic circles where they're doing this. And here's their weird globe thing. That's another signal apparently. This is the Holocaust Museum with shafts of the abyss, right? From I forget which Bible verse it is, but they have steam rising up out of them. Each one has 6 panels on each side with 6 rows and 6 columns with 6 groups of numbers. It's all 666. It's all evil, right? Wayfair logo in a magic circle. There you go. It looks very similar. Clinton body bag, right? I think. Okay, yeah. So this is the Harvard. Oh, this is one of the Harvard buildings. Seaver Hall, which has tunnels. There's tunnels all over Harvard. It's all connected by tunnels. So it's just creepy stuff to me. Ken Burns' chocolate shop sells these mice that look like pineal glands, and they have a cross, and an inverted cross. What are the odds? Right? It's all satanic stuff. This is human trafficking map. This is the map of the Underground Railroad, which I think was just a cover for this. I think it goes back all because some of this stuff makes no sense, like this trip around Michigan. How does that make sense on the Underground Railroad? Why would they take the slaves that they're trying to free and take them on a cruise around Michigan? Does that make sense? No. And it ends out here in Nebraska, which is kind of near Boys Town, where they had that big scandal, the Franklin cover-up with the Franklin Credit Union, and Larry King, not the Larry King, a different Larry King, who was trafficking children to Washington. And they try to cover it up and say it's all fake. But the kids, listen to the kids' stories, Paul Bonacci, and there's some other ones, and listen to what they have to say, and then before you decide, before you debunk it, because it doesn't sound to me like they're lying. Why would they? 666, more pineal gland stuff. Podesta art. Biltmore. So this is the pool at the Biltmore Estate, and the Biltmore was designed by Frederick Law Olmsted, that occultist from Belmont, Mass, who designed all this other occult stuff. So it's a big club, like George Carlin said. It's huge, and what they're doing is disgusting, and they don't want us to know. So they like to silence people like me who want to get the word out. Here's another magic circle, Harvard Vanguard. That's one of the magic circle points in Harvard Square, Harvard Vanguard, along with Seaver Hall and the Ken Burns L.A. Burdick chocolate shop. You'll find, and then there's a pizza place that forms the southern one, Riverside Pizza. That's and I wasn't sure, but I went on their website and I saw the colors. They use the witchcraft colors, the earth, air, fire, and water colors on their website. So that was the clue that I needed to confirm my suspicion with that. Here's the Golden Dome, another Golden Dome. Here's Epstein's Golden Dome, right? They love Golden Domes because it's a symbol to them. It's a pineal gland symbol. It's insane that we just look at this and in awe. There's nothing to be in awe of. It's disgusting. It should turn your stomach. Slave ship. This is the new slave ship, Evergreen. Evergreen was Hillary's code word by the Secret Service, Evergreen. And this is how they do it now. So this is when early in my research I found it was odd to me that here's Ken Burns' chocolate shop, and then here's his wife's children's charity, Room to Grow, with the Washington Square arch in the middle. I thought that was very strange. So then I started figuring out these magic circles, and everything falls on them. Everything with this bakery called Tate, or Tatte, and then the Burdicks, they all form magic circles, and they give themselves away. They give away what they're doing and where, and it's just absolutely insane. And no, they don't want you to know this. I think this is one of the points. I had to dig a little more with this one. The New Hampshire one is a little hard to figure out, but I think I did it. Yeah, here's Walpole Logistics. This is from their website, so there you go. Some weird stuff going on. Weird stuff. I'm not making accusations, but this needs to be investigated. But it's being done by these elite people that, know who's going to investigate them, because there's some, the people who do get murdered. So I think that's probably, yeah. Oh, here's the flavorist I was talking about. And this is the snake and the forbidden fruit. And he's making that same hand symbol that Bette Midler was making about pineal glands. So that's the secret message. They try to make it sound like they're using chemicals in the food to make the food addictive. I don't think that's the case. I think it's pineal glands. There's pineal glands. With the research I've done, it's being put in the food, especially in places like Goose Island, Chicago. I think Mars Wrigley is opening a research center there. So what do they need to research, right? This is what it's pineal. They already know what flavor is the most addictive, and that is the flavor. That's what these flavorists say. They say their job is to make a food addictive, which is evil, and they're laughing and smiling about it. But it's evil work to do that, to make junk food addictive. That's evil, but they already know what the most addictive flavor is, and that is pineal glands. And here's some more stuff that they don't want you to know. Podesta with his red shoes. These are the people accused of kidnapping Madeleine McCann. And the Frazzle Drip video, right? Hillary was in that allegedly, right? And people are being killed for trying to expose that. But here it is. So here's the sketches of the people involved, who may have been involved. I think that this was, I forget what year this happened, 2007. Yeah, 2007. And Richard Branson's hair is very white now, but it was more brown back then, kind of dark blonde, I guess. So there's a pretty good resemblance there, I think. And then there's somebody wearing this coat, and they walk with their hands in their pockets, just like Richard Branson does. And people say they think this is Gillan, but I think it's Richard Branson, honestly. And then this looks just like Anthony Weiner. This Gillan looks just like her. This looks like John Podesta, Tony Podesta, with his red shoes at his 66th party. Right, that's another thing. Research that. The media says this was his 65th party. But it's you do the math. It's 66 because the party was 2009, and he was born in 1943. So it's not hard to do that math. It's 66. This is his 66th birthday. So these people are just occultists, and they look at that because they're drinking their happy juice from the dead kids. So it's just really sick. And zoom in on this drink, and doesn't look like wine. So it's very, very odd stuff. So there you go. Oh, Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka. I think that was a documentary. This is Pan. This is a Pan reference. He played the Pan flute. He lured children to their death like the Pied Piper. That's what this is a reference to. Green is the color of Demeter, goddess of the harvest on Crete. Here, this is a Church of the Harvest in Fitchburg that needs to be investigated. Church of the Harvest with a green. What are they harvesting, right? This is an old warehouse on the Nashua River with no windows on the second floor, but none anywhere else. And very, very bizarre. So I think that's about it. Oh, some more symbols. Here's the crisscross symbol. Again, this is on a website about a death cult, satanic death cult. And they're using this symbol here. And Kazakhstan 2050 is using the same symbol. This is Education Day, USA. So these Chabad comes to the White House to stand behind the president while they endorse the Noahide laws, which according to Chabad, they have a article called Mashiach 101. So when the Mashiach comes, they say they're going to be under the Talmudic law. There's like 300 and something laws in the Talmud that they will be bound by, which includes allowing them to rape kids. So that's in Sanhedrin 54b. Look it up. And then the rest of us will be under the Noahide laws, 7 Noahide laws, where you have to worship their God, or you could be beheaded. Just look up. It's this. Oh, I lost my train of thought. 7. Yeah. This. I lost my train of thought. So. Oh yeah. All right. Maybe it'll come back to me. So here's the John Hancock building, which recently got a new red roof, like it used to be gray. So why do they have to make it red? What are they doing here? Red Roof Inns were involved in child trafficking. It sounds like they're trying to cover it up. They had a problem with that. Some pictures, Levine, this guy from Maroon 5. I was going to say Slaughterhouse 5. But Maroon 5. 5 is a number they used to represent death, by the way. The Satanists use that to represent death. And he wrote a song called Animals. He's going to prey on you tonight and hunt you down and eat you alive. That's his song. It's great. And then if you look at this artwork in his house, there's a video where he takes you on a tour of his house, and you can see all his weird stuff, like his red sneakers and his paintings with the pineal gland references and whatever this is. It looks like blood. Very bizarre. Oh, and then the song "Oh Yeah" is just more occult stuff about child sacrifice and pineal glands. That's what this crown, I think it's a Pashent crown or something from Egypt. It goes back to Egypt. It looks like a bowling ball. A bowling pin. It's very strange. Egypt was the center of this whole system too. It's like Chris Cornell said. They're farming babies while the slaves are all working. That's what this is. That's what this whole system is. They're farming, and they're doing it underground. So that's what Elon Musk's tunnel boring company called the Boring Company is all about. They're going to be doing this underground, and no one else is going to have a clue, right? I got to get this out to people because they're going to be. This is the Getty Museums. Allegedly, they have deep underground tunnels there, and they're doing some strange stuff according to some people. here we go. Boston Sand and Gravel. So these sand and gravel companies, this is very close to Mass General Hospital, which was built with opium money. At the same time, McLean Hospital was all the same opium money. There's a really good article on that. I'm gonna post some links if they don't, whack me first. I think I got to take a break from this, but yeah, this was all built with opium money, and so these sand and gravel companies. There's another thing I want to connect this to called the hum, the worldwide hum. Look into that. People say they hear a weird hum at night. I think it's tunnel boring machines, and it always seems to. So one guy has a theory that it's near the gas lines, which kind of falls apart if you look into it. But he hasn't given up on that apparently. But History Channel made a documentary or a video about it, and they said it could be the tunnel, it could be the gas lines, or it could be like collective tinnitus, which is ridiculous. But they said it's definitely not the tunnels, though, definitely not that, right? Which leads me to think that it probably is, because I lived near. I was seeing a woman up who lives I heard this noise. I heard it one night and she couldn't hear it, but then the next night it was so loud we both heard it, and it was undeniable. And it's connected to these sand and gravel companies, because they have the equipment to move the dirt from. The one near me has, I don't know what kind of, they have these giant dump trucks with wheels that are 9 feet tall, and they could move because you need that equipment to move. If you're going to make tunnels, you need that equipment to move all this earth. So I think this is just a front for child trafficking. Honestly, I'm not saying they don't make sand and gravel. Obviously they do. They make sand and gravel, but there's probably, I think there's something else there too, because this all these circular roads are a little strange with the sand and gravel right in the middle, because it's the same thing with Wayfair. They made this crazy tunnel in a circle, like it's an occult thing around Wayfair, right? It's crazy because they didn't have to do that. They could have had it just. It goes from here to here. So why didn't they just, come across a different way? Why does it have to go all the way like this? That's very odd. Gavalia, that was the first coffee that my girlfriend got me to. I didn't drink coffee my whole life, and I quit again because there's pineal gland references in all of it. And I used to work near a coffee roaster, and the smell made you want to puke. And I live near one now, and it smells like puke, which is like the smell of pineal glands. I think, because it's like the SpaghettiOs smell, this old M&M smell. It's just this pukey, disgusting smell that should tell you right away that something's wrong. And this is the coffee that I was drinking. I should have known by the name, Wicked Joe, that something's wrong. And here's the lotus flower, which is the pineal gland reference. I had to stop. I'm not going to eat this forbidden fruit, no matter how hard they try to get me to do it. I'm not doing it. And here, watch a Barry Manilow video about SpaghettiOs from 1974. And it's creepy. It's real. See how many references you can. There's a carousel where you circle of life for reference. There's a kid with a red bow tie at the end. So yeah, he's probably the one that gets whacked, right? It's just creepy stuff. So look that up. And Sade. This is the opposite. Sometimes they reverse these images because that's what these Satanists do. Actually, they like, it's just bizarre stuff that they're into. But this is Sade singing Smooth Operator, which sounds like coast to coast, LA to Chicago sounds like child trafficking to me. But that's another strange song. So here's so this color, they wear this teal all the time because when you invert it, it's pink like a brain. And then this mustard color turns into royal blue because they think they're royal. They think they're royalty. The Lions Club in Belmont, Mass. is on One Royal Road. That's and it's here's the Devil's Drink, and then it just happens to be that teal color. Pope Clement called coffee the Devil's Drink. That's when I knew I had to quit, and I did. I just quit. I quit cold turkey. I can't do it. If it's that, I just can't. If it's we're in a spiritual war, and I had to quit. I had to do it. So there you go. Now I'm repeating. Now I'm getting back to the same stuff. So I think I covered everything. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't waste your time. And thanks for listening.